What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about what I think is the most underrated weapon in Fortnite OG, and that is going to be the LMG or light machine gun. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below what you think of the LMG. So in chapter 1, the LMG was like pretty lackluster. I feel like it was an item that no one really cared about. You would maybe use it if you got off spawn, like if you got it off spawn, but it wasn't really something that was sought after. But I think this actually got reworked at some point in chapter 3, and it's really good now, and I was completely unaware of this. Somebody in my Twitch chat told me about this, and this weapon is like kind of insane at this point. If you're someone that really hates the bloom weapons, like the regular AR or the burst, these third-person weapons that aren't totally accurate, you're probably really going to like the LMG, because while it does have like spread and bloom, its maximum like spread is still decently accurate for the ranges you are going to be using it in. I'll have some clips of me shooting it on screen now, and this is the max bloom that it has. This is as inaccurate as it gets, and so it is very easy to fill your crosshairs with the opponents and give yourself like a decent chance of hitting shots. The trade-off for this, though, is that it does have quite a bit of recoil. I think it has actually quite a lot. If you're someone who struggled to control the twin mag AR, you're probably really going to struggle with this weapon. It has like more of a violent kick to it, or more of like a drastic kick to it than what the twin mag AR had. But like all the weapons in Fortnite, it only kicks up to a certain point and then just kind of stops from that point forward. I'm not sure why the weapons in Fortnite do this, but if you're able to kind of counteract that initial kick by pulling down, then you will have like an easier time once you kind of get past that point. But like I said, it is much more noticeable, the recoil on this, than the recoil of the twin mag, I think. And this LMG is kind of best at like close to medium range. The blue version will do 25 damage up to like 50 meters, and then it'll kind of start to drop off at that point, you know, the further away your target is. And eventually it'll end up at 17 damage. So the damage at range really isn't great at all. But the recoil will make it pretty inconvenient to use at these ranges anyways, so it's not like it's really that big of a deal. In the ranges where you're going to be using this weapon, I think the damage is fine and pretty comparable to the other weapons at those ranges. Unless you wanted to like tap fire at very far range, you could maybe get by doing that. But again, the damage is so pitiful that if you're going up against like a sniper or a scoped AR at really long range, I just don't think the LMG is going to be fit for that. So up to like medium range, medium-ish, long range, this weapon is really solid, but long range is going to be your main weakness with this weapon, which we'll kind of get to later on in the video. Its fire rate is also 7, which is more than the suppressed AR and regular AR's 5.5. They both have the same fire rate, and the scoped AR has a 2 fire rate, and the way the fire rate statistic works is how many bullets per second the weapon shoots. So it's not like ridiculously faster than the regular AR, but it is noticeably faster enough to the point where this could give you an advantage in those like close to medium range fights where these bloom based ARs are going to thrive. And not only is this an advantage in those medium range fights, but it also makes it a pretty solid spray weapon if you did want to combo this with something like the pump or heavy shotguns. It's really hard to get by this season as far as like your inventory slots are concerned. There's a lot of things you want to carry, like, you know, your shotgun, your medium range weapon. Snipers are incredibly good. Explosive weapons are incredibly good. Heals, obviously, the grappler, rift to go, cover items. There's a lot to carry in the game right now. So being able to use this as somewhat of like an AR and an SMG is pretty valuable if you are someone that wants to use the pump. I've been favoring the TAC for zero build for most of the season. I think the TAC shotgun is just really good for zero build right now. So this isn't the biggest deal to me, but if you are someone that really wants to use the pump, you can combo this between the pump and it works just fine. So that does kind of like free you up an inventory slot. And the reason why I don't really care that much about the damage or the range downside is going to be that snipers are really insane this season. And I would really like to use one. Like, as if I get my hands on like the semi-auto sniper or even the bolt, like the bolt is good enough. The semi-auto is better, but just any sniper this season is really good because of the fact that like we're very limited on range when it comes to the ARs. Like the scoped AR can do long range just fine, but its damage, it's like DPS isn't great because of that low fire rate. So like if you're 100 meters away, you have a sniper and they have a scoped AR, I feel like the sniper has the advantage in that fight. Not only can they do a lot of damage in a single shot, but they don't have to be exposed for as long. So I think snipers are really good this season, and the LMG kind of combos with this great because you have the LMG for like kind of close to medium-ish range. It can somewhat do long range, but it's not ideal. And then you have the sniper for those really long ranges. Like the LMG is really versatile. and it can do a lot of roles, and that frees up space in your inventory. And it also, like, the sniper is really good this season, but it also complements the LMG's main weakness. So if you want to run a sniper this season, I think something like tac shotgun, LMG, sniper, heals, and then your grappler can be like an incredibly good setup. This does leave you somewhat vulnerable in game as far as like a cover item goes. But, you know, there's times in game where you're able to find portaforts off like maybe players you eliminate, and then you can throw those in zone. Any supply drops that happen to be in zone, or just any buildings that you can loot in game. Sometimes we'll have things like bunkers or portaforts, you know, left over. And if you're playing team game modes, then maybe somebody in your team can carry these items. But I do think with how many inventory slots we have and how many things you want to carry this season, being able to recycle those portaforts or being able to recycle those end games in terms of like, you know, having them there but make use of them without really carrying them in an inventory slot can be huge, I think. And just the snipers are so good this season, and the LMG is also really good, and they complement each other really well. The main downsides of the LMG, and, you know, in addition to its weakness at range, or its like difficulty to use at range, is going to be the fact that it runs through ammo pretty quick. And I know a lot of players have had a hard time getting medium ammo this season for whatever reason. I haven't really had that problem, but I've had a lot of people telling me they have. I would just say, like, make sure you're getting ammo boxes if possible, and make sure you're looting your kills. I don't know if the people who are really struggling with ammo just aren't getting any kills, and then that's why. But like typically after like a few kills into the mid game, I'm like, you know, really stacked on AR ammo. The bigger problem would be the reload, though. The reload does take quite a bit of time. The magazine is great at 60, but the reload takes a decent amount of time. So if you kind of get into a situation where this needs to be reloaded and you're getting third-partied, that can really suck. But as long as you're able to, like, you know, manage that well, which I don't know, getting third party stinks regardless, but like as long as you don't spray all your ammo out during a fight, you typically should be pretty fine with this weapon. If you do kind of, you know, have a fight and then you're getting third partied right away when this needs to be reloaded, probably the best thing to do would just be drop your AR for whatever, or drop your LMG for whatever AR the enemy had. And even if they had an LMG, you could just swap them straight up, because typically when you eliminate somebody, their weapons are supposed to drop fully loaded. This does bug sometimes, like almost everything in Fortnite, where it doesn't drop fully loaded. But if you eliminate somebody, their gun should be fully loaded for you, so you can just swap that out real quick, and then you don't have to worry about reloading. And then again, the recoil can be pretty drastic. So if you are someone who isn't used to countering recoil by kind of pulling your aim in the opposite direction, it kind of goes up into the side, so you have to pull down into the opposite direction. If you aren't used to doing that or can't do that well while tracking the opponent, then that's going to be rough. But if you are able to do that well, I think the LMG is really good, and then the sniper is really good at really long range, and they kind of complement each other well. That is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys found this helpful, informative, interesting. If you did, remember to give it a like, subscribe, like, see more, and let me know what you think of the LMG down in the comments below. Never played COD? I mean, from all things... Hold on. COD is another game where, like, there's too many people that play it that it's impossible for it to not have, like, a lot of negative reception. Like, I think any game you have, it'd be super popular, and you're gonna have some people pissed off because it's impossible to cater to everybody. Modern Warfare 2, the one that came out last year, pissed a lot of people off with, like, changes they made to the game that made it, like, less... Oh, that's annoying. I fucked that up. Made it less like COD. But Modern Warfare 3 seems to be kind of going away from that. Take way too much damage there, man. I would like to hit some shots on this guy to deter him from landing on me. Can I just have that? Thank you. But yeah, Modern Warfare 3 seems to just be undoing everything that people hated about Modern Warfare 2, and then throwing in maps from Modern Warfare 2009. Not sure why Modern Warfare 3 has all the maps from Modern Warfare 2 2009 instead of having the maps from Modern Warfare 3, but who knows. Modern Warfare 2 is a more, like, popular game. Modern Warfare 2000. It's, like, hard to even talk about because they use the same fucking name so much. And then also, like, the thing about COD is it has different dev studios working on it. So people flame COD for being a yearly game, and so it must be bad because they make it in a year, but they don't make it in a year. They have, like, 2 or 3 year life cycles, or, like, dev cycles, but they just have different studios working on them. But, like, my favorite CODs were typically, like, the Treyarch ones. That was my favorite developer. Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3 probably my favorites. Started playing in COD 4. Felt so fucking elderly yesterday, man. Yesterday was like the 16-year anniversary of COD 4 or something like that. That feels bad for him. I hit the snipe just as he refs.